What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Last night, Monty did what I'll refer to as a super panel that hosted multiple creators, and one of them was Kaya Simons. The other was Marty. Marty essentially told her to log off, to which Kaya responded, essentially, she would not be logging off, and she plans on getting online tonight. There was a lot of things said. I would offer that you can go watch a portion of the stream yourself if you're interested. My perspective of this is that Kaya very much still seems defensive. She very much still seems as if she's being judged in a way that she shouldn't be. But the reality is, Chantal was judged by Kaya for various things at times where we now know Kaya could have been more forgiving, understanding, and approached her in a different stance. For example, just briefly, when Foodie and Natter were going back and forth, we were learning the charges that Natter was dealing with, had been dealing with. This would have been a perfect opportunity for Kaya to position herself of saying something to the effect of, listen, people can change. I'm living with someone that's proof of this. Or, listen, this is what I went through in my life. I met people during that time that have went on and became better people. Instead, Kaya elected to do neither one of those things. But that's not what I'm fully here to talk about. I think you can go watch Kaya's response, reactions, emotions, frustrations, and get really the own impression you want to make from the stream. I'm here to talk about something a little different that I'm shocked no one brought up last night. And if I was on the panel, I would have. And Kaya, I would love to know an explanation for this, because Kaya was asked a lot about how his life has changed, what he does for a living, and she deferred and deflected all of these questions. She said that they went out to a kitchen at one point and they were cooking meals for homeless people in their house, and that was supposed to tell us the type of caliber of person he is. Kaya, I want you to understand, I'm not going to show this out of respect, but there's been a lot of images circulating that show someone with his name, which is a common name, but nevertheless, in your area, took out a $20,000 PPP loan, which is forgiven by the government, during COVID. We, as a community, have the right to know if this business that you're not willing to talk about now was in fact being given a grant that most of the people that watch your channel from the US essentially paid for, while you sat there, got super chats, got donations, made money on the internet, and also went through these lavish and lush hauls while he was collecting money that he never planned on paying back for a business which you refuse to talk about or show now. Everything's already out there. So what does showing this business seemingly change anything? Now, to that other part, you deleted a couple videos on your channel. And it's interesting to me that I specifically went back to look for these videos, and I hope someone can find them. Kaya went out to a wedding not too long ago, and she vlogged some of that wedding. Those videos showed this incredible home, beautiful home, almost, dare I say, a mansion. That video is gone. Kaya, why is that video gone? Why is the video depicting you at a place of extreme wealth seemingly disappeared? Moreover, you did a skit video. You did a video where you pulled into a garage in what some might have just seen as a red car, but what I knew was a Porsche Carrera GTS, which is roughly a $160,000 car. So again, with everything being out there, Kaya, we know where you live, and I'm not being degrading to you. What I'm simply offering is most people don't drive vehicles that are worth more than their home. More than their home by a third of the value of their home. So as an example, if you have someone very well-to-do in America and they have, let's say, $1 million home, they're not automatically driving a $1.75 million car. You knew very well what pulling up in that Carrera GTS would mean. So explain to us why all those videos are seemingly the only ones that are gone. So it was okay to keep those videos up when you wanted to project to the right people on the internet that you had access to a $160,000 Porsche. But once we learned the past history of the person you're with, all of a sudden that video needs to go away. When it's something that Kaya wants to project, that she's going to someone's home that lives probably a 1% lifestyle, incredibly lavish and well-to-do, Kaya puts up that video on her channel. But when we learn about Kaya's past, all of a sudden that video gets removed. When supposedly, hypothetically, possibly, Kaya's partner has changed their life, started a business, rebuild everything, as she says, from the ground up, we can sit there on Monty's panel and talk about all these things, but when it comes down to discussing a $20,000 government grant, well, we don't have anything to show for that. There's tons of ways people can change their life, Kaya. There's tons of things people can do to better themselves. I've known plenty of convicts in my life, and every one of them will be the first to give you the laundry list of the things they've done because they're proud of them. They accept what they've done in their past was bad, and they've served their penalty for it. But they are more proud of what they've done, leaving that in the past. Going out to at-risk youths, going to jails, going to prisons, educating people as to what they can do to not make the same mistakes. And I see no shame in him coming on and saying those things. And you simply hiding behind this ruse of, we don't want those people involved. We don't want to talk about the things that he's done positively because then it brings other people in. Well, then, Kaya, maybe you need to take part of the community's advice and then simply not log back in. Because this isn't going to be something that just goes away tomorrow, the next day, the next week, the next month. This is going to be something that he has lived with and will live with the rest of his life, and you, as his partner, are going to live with. And I don't mean that begrudgingly. I mean that in all sincerity. You knew these things when having him in your life. You knew that this was going to be your cross to bear as much as it was his cross to bear. And now everyone knows about it. But to me, what's more important is the facade you were trying to keep, the appearance you were trying to make, and why all of a sudden that gets deleted when things really hit the fan. Especially the car, Kaya. The car, to me, is really, really the key point. Because I would wager to say there's not a lot of people in our community that immediately look at that car and know the price tag of that car. But I know that you did. I know that he did. And I know that whoever you were with was fully aware of the value of that car. Because some people just don't care about material things. Some people probably thought, oh, that's a pretty looking red car. You didn't have to actually show the door, say, Carrera GTS. But you did, because you wanted to make it known that it was a GTS, not just the regular $90,000 Carrera, right? So, Kaya, you're going to come back online tonight, right? At least that's what you said. And maybe Terrence is going to join you, right? Perhaps. You're not sure. Then come online and be honest with us. Tell us why you deleted those videos. Tell us about the person whose home you went to that had all this money and how you know them, why you went there, why it was okay to film there, but now all of a sudden it's not okay to show it. And let's get some real transparency about the business that's owned, the government loan or grant at this point, essentially, that was needed, and where that money went. Because I would assume if you got an over $20,000 paycheck protection loan, that company should still be in business 18, 20 months later, right? Love to know your thoughts on this. Appreciate you watching it. You know I will be back as soon as I can with more content.